What if Ukraine conquered Briansk region in 2023? It's been almost a year since Russia invaded Ukraine, and it's been one of the most consequential conflicts of the 21st century so far. But what if I told you that Ukraine didn't just defend itself against the Russian invasion, but instead turned the tables and began to conquer Russian territory? This is a history fantasy, and today we're going to explore what would happen if Ukraine conquered the Briansk region in 2023. The Briansk region is a sparsely populated area of western Russia. It borders Ukraine to the south and has a population of around 1.4 million people. The vast majority of the population are ethnic Russians, but there is also a significant number of Ukrainians and Belarusians living in the region. Since the beginning of the war, the Russian government has been forced to mobilize hundreds of thousands of reservists to fight against the Ukrainians, including the Briansk region. At the same time, the Ukrainian war effort has been bolstered by the arrival of foreign volunteers and mercenaries. Many of these foreigners have unique combat experience and are better equipped and trained than the average Russian soldier. As the war drags on, it is likely that more and more Russians will become disillusioned with the conflict and either flee to safer areas or lay down their arms and surrender to the Ukrainians. At the same time, the Ukrainian military is likely to become better and better at fighting the Russians. They have already inflicted heavy casualties on the Russian army and have destroyed or captured a large amount of Russian equipment. As the war continues, it is likely that Ukraine will become increasingly confident and begin to push further and further into Russian territory. In this alternate timeline, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky declares that the war has entered a new phase. He announces that the Ukrainian army is no longer just fighting to defend their country, but is now on the offensive. Zelensky calls on the people of Briansk to rise up and overthrow the hated Russian oppressors. Inspired by Zelensky's speech, a group of armed Ukrainian soldiers crosses the border into the Briansk region. They are met with little resistance and soon take control of the city of Briansk. Over the next few days, Ukrainian troops push further into the region, liberating towns and villages from Russian control. Along the way, they are joined by thousands of local Russian citizens who have had enough of the war and want their children to live in peace. By the end of the week, the entire Briansk region has been liberated. Ukrainian soldiers stand guard at the border crossings to make sure that no Russians can enter Ukraine. The war is not over yet, but Ukraine has won a major victory. This is a fantasy, of course. It's not likely to happen anytime soon. Thank you so much for watching.